businesses, and these big brands of retail chains have probably not done so well as they were expected to. So what I feel is, in India, are we really ready for these big retail chains vis-a-vis the small shop owners? And I don't see I don't see their bad times in the near future. Rather, I see a bad time for these big time retailers, chains. So your take on this?
Okay, I personally feel this is a transition period. There's no doubt in my mind that the local mom and shop stores will have its own role to play, and the things will improve. Even these local kirana shops, if you see, now they are trying to update themselves. Earlier, they're trying to improve their services just like these large formats. So the question I think you're trying to ask is whether these kirana shops will stay, the small formats will stay, or the large formats will stay, correct? So I personally feel that both have the place to play in India, such a big country, large population, and if you see the evolution of large formats, it's mostly in the metros and A-class cities. And it will take them time to reach the rural part. And having said that, there's a factor called convenience factor. Now today with the population in India, if you go to any big mall, you will see there's a parking space problem, there is a issue on availability, timing, etc. So today people believe in convenience. So I think these people, small kirana stores will work on the convenience factor where they will prefer giving a home delivery, a credit facility is much more better than this thing. So the answer I would say is yes, both have the role to play. Large formats at this moment may not be doing well because every large format, the footfall is not as what they expected. But over a period of time, with the economical growth, these people are bound to stay here and do a better business.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Dave Roy. When I talk about retail, the brands that come in top of my mind are Walmart and Tesco, who are in a mood to invest in India. The basic ideology that these brands are following to invest in India is to bank upon the unstructured distribution system in India. Having said that, can't Indian government or local brands like, as in Indian brands like Mother Dairy or Amul or Future Group, can organize this sector to explore more options and earn profits instead of letting in foreign brands come in and explore the market?
See, the FDI has played its part. Having said that, even if you talk about Mother Dairy, I don't know if you have heard about the Safal booths. So Safal booths, especially in the North India, in fact, Mother Dairy was one of the first companies to bring in this concept in India. If you go across Delhi or NCR, you will see that Safal booths, we have Safal booths where we sell vegetables, we sell different types of brand. So it is not that the modern trade is something new. It started from the southern part, where south was the first Nilgiris, etc., where the people who started. Now, about the question you asked is that can we participate into it? Yes, if you see the Future Group, which is a local Indian company, that is actually one of the largest stores in India. About Walmart, Walmart or metros, they are more of a cash and carry stores. So they are trying to, the target customer is actually the wholesale. Whereas if you see a Safal, like in Mother Dairy, or if you see a Future Group, that is Big Bazaar, the target customer is the C customer, that is our consumers.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I have a question. I just want your view on what are the effect and impacts of e-commerce and online selling on the current scenario and future scenario of our retail business. And the second question is that currently manufacturer is getting around 10 to 12% margin, and the 30 to 35% margin is getting by distribution chain. So can it be reduced to online selling because the customer can acquire directly from the manufacturer if he has own side and he can get a customized product?
To be very honest, this has already started in India, but the percentage may not be even 1%. Going forward, yes, this is the business which is going to grow. That is why if you see, lot of people have started on the e-commerce. There are big companies who are getting involved into it. So perhaps not in next 5 years, but that is the future of India. And regarding the margins, even this large formats, they are banking on this supply chain model. That is the TDC, the total delivery cost. What these large formats are trying to do, just like the online sales, that they're trying to reduce the supply chain cost from the supplier to the consumer. So if by that logic, if you say that if the supply chain cost is 35% today, and if a retailer or a large format tries to keep a margin, or a local kirana shop or a mom and shop tries to keep a margin of 10-15%, what these large formats are trying to do is trying to reduce that margin by better efficiency of supply chain. So that is the role which is going to come in future.
Good morning, sir. My name is Suhas. My question is related to some basic functionalities as such. If you compare a local kirana store, they have a kind of facility or convenience ki they will give an option to customers ki khate mein likh dena, right in my account. So can this functionality be utilized on a large scale or by the large chains such as Walmart and etc.?
They are already doing with the credit cards.
So, okay,
Yeah, please.
yes, but the local kirana stores would be more convenient as far as a credit card is concerned compared to credit cards. Because
See,
a local customer or a common customer will prefer to go to the nearby local store and use that functionality rather than buy a credit card and use it in the larger chain stores.
See, you know that India is a young consumer base. What is happening? The consumer in India today has become more intelligent. They want good quality at a cheaper price, and obviously the convenience. Now coming to your question, what has happened is, just go 10-15 years back. You take the list to the kirana shop and say ki chawal de dena, ye de dena, etc., etc. Now when you go to a large format, you know that I need this particular type of oil or any staple something. You know the brand is available, you know the price which is available. Now having said that, with this credit card facility, even this large format are banking on that. That is why if you go to any large format, you will see a salesman selling his card. Sir, yeah, this is a Big Bazaar card or this is a Walmart card. So in a way, they are also trying to adopt the Bahi Khata facility, I would say, in a much organized way. So because a credit card today gives you a credit of what, 45 days? And a local shopkeeper also will give you a credit max of 30 days. So they're trying to play that game with a card which is actually somewhere down the line supported by the large format. If you go to a Big Bazaar, you will see the agent selling there a Big Bazaar credit card. What is it actually? It is indirect a credit facility given to the consumer.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, my name is Amol Kulkarni, and I would like to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question that with the advent of virtual currencies such as PayPal and Bitcoins, how is the retail sector reacting to it? Because they have changed the way we look at currency.
Can you rephrase it again? I'm not able to understand it.
With the advent of PayPal, which is a virtual currency, not a physical currency, and with the help of Bitcoins, which is also a currency which is there by a community, how is the retail sector reacting to that change?
I think that's what I've answered to his question also. That the plastic money is increasing, and that is the way it is going to address it.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Piyush Dubey. So my question to you is, with the majority of the Indian population still living in the villages, the village part of India, why has it been neglected by the retail industry till date?
A very good question, I would say. This was about 2 years back, I would say. But if you see any big company, be it P&G, be it Unilever, even be it for Mother Dairy for that instant, our focus is on actually the rural market. Especially for a company like Mother Dairy, where we procure a lot of milk from this rural market, we have a large base. We have almost 35,000 villages connected to us. And best thing is the paying capacity of now the rural market has increased. If you see, for example, any good brand which is available in a metro or A-class city, that is even there. So I think the next step for any retailer or for any FMCG company is the rural market. So yes, there was a neglecting part of it, but not now. In fact, most of the companies are getting their margins, I would say, the so-called distribution margins from the rural market, not from the metros, because the competition in metros and A-class cities are much, much higher. You see every brand coming here, everyone wants to have its own space. So the focus has moved to the rural market.
Sir, I want to ask a question. As
Can
you
I
have-
get, sorry, can I get a water? Yes, please continue.
Sir, as you have answered that margin should be reduced of transportation and distribution, but what we are seeing that if you are distributing your margin, the retailer and the shopkeeper are not keeping your product and they are taking the product which has more margin so that they can have more profit. So you have to be present in the market because we can take an example of Bisleri. It was previously sold everywhere, but the margin of the lower end product and cheap products are much more. So shopkeepers are promoting it and it's not available in the market. The same case with the Airtel. A few days before Airtel reduced its margin on its recharge voucher and the retailers and the shopkeepers were not keeping it. So it reduced their service also. So what can be done for that?
Okay, there are, I would break this into three to four parts. See, one thing is, in today's Indian conditions, it is important to have a strategy called winning with the retailers. You cannot ignore your customer, number one. Second thing is, you know that there is a pull strategy and there is a push strategy. Now, as I said, the Indian consumer is very intelligent. I have been traveling across, I have seen, you take anyone, the Indian consumer wants the best of the quality, best of the product at the cheapest price. Correct? Now, the margins part you are saying, today, every company wants to create a push and pull at the same time. If I see, when I started my career, the strategy in distribution was only either a push or a pull. Now, I think what has happened with today's salesman, that first he has to win in his mind. Important is for him to win in his mind. Then he knows that which is the market I need to create a pull strategy, which are the markets where I need to have a push strategy. For example, a Mumbai city. Now, I'm coming to your question of margins of a retailer. Again, the service factor is important. Where I'm coming from is, for example, if the retailer there wants the stock on daily basis and he wants to have his minimum investment on the stocks, it is important for a company to see that we don't overload him with the stocks, we don't involve his much finances, and we see that how we continue replenishing his stocks on time to time, on day-to-day basis, or week-to-week basis, or maybe I would say that we manage the PDP, that is his permanent dispatch plan. So that all is important. All these back-end services is important to keep the margin of a retailer, because till the time the retailer doesn't have the margins, even if you have the best product in the market and best quality, retailer is not going to push. So I think the strategy today is a combination of pull, push, as well as winning with the retailer. Winning with the retailer for me is the shop, whether it's a large format or a small format or a kirana shop, where he sees that his part or his earnings are saved. Correct? That's what you meant?
I'm Chandrasekhar, sir. My question is related to beginner's point of view. That if suppose first generation businessman comes into online retailing, and then initially there is, it takes time to permeate the market. Then he has to manage higher expenses of supply chain management. So what can be done as an innovation, or what are the aspects in this particular case? And the second part I want to ask, or I expect you to throw some light on the online retailing of perishable goods, like what can be done in the future.
Okay. Do you mean that you want to open a distribution business or something like that? Online distribution business?
Online shopping, like as we do for the like electronic gadgets, like eBay, anything like that. So in the initial stage, what is done exactly to manage the supply chain? Or suppose the customers are less, so what can be done to tackle this situation in the initial stage?
Okay. As I told you that this is still evolving in India, first thing you need to have your consumer base, I would say. You need to understand who your consumer is. You need to research that. One. Second thing, you need to understand who are your suppliers, which part of country they belong to,